Guys, like, comment, subscribe, share the video, especially if you love college football as much as I do. Um, Auburn was pretty good last year, actually. I thought they were a lot better than what their record said, and they proved that they could play with anybody in the country, especially if they play their best football. However, turnovers, just stupid things, hurt Auburn a lot last year. California, Missouri, and even Alabama, among a few other games, were close games that Auburn lost that they should have won. I think a lot of that's going to stop because Hugh Freeze, I've noticed something about Hugh Freeze. He's been building every position on that roster except the quarterback position because everything else around that's already there can easily win you most of your games. Usually, unless, unfortunately, you have a quarterback that turns the ball over a lot and doesn't make very good decisions like Peyton Thorne did. Now, I'm an Auburn fan, so I can say that I like Peyton Thorne. But, yeah, a lot of inconsistency at the quarterback spot. I think that's going to change, and I'll tell you why. They got Deuce Knight from high school, a four-star quarterback who I feel pretty good about. And they also got Jackson from Oklahoma, the quarterback from last year that got benched a few times. What Jackson brings is experience. He's mobile. Auburn's got a good offensive line, so that'll help him a lot. I understand he had a lot of turnovers last year too, but Oklahoma's offensive line was really bad, and he did have some fumbles and made some bad decisions. And I think not having a really good offensive line can hurt any quarterback. So while I don't think he's going to be a Heisman winner or anything like that, I do know that he has a lot of experience, especially in big games because he played for Oklahoma. He's does have some talent. He does have some explosive tendencies. I think I honestly think this would be a better fit for him than it was at Oklahoma because Auburn's strong at every position except the quarterback position because I say it's unproven. And then Deuce Knight is a true freshman quarterback. It's a possibility he might be the starter. Especially if Jackson starts messing up again, this guy might take his job and keep it. He's a four-star. He's one of the higher-rated quarterbacks coming out of high school. He's a talented player. He's mobile. He can throw good. He has it all. And he's got a bunch of toys to play with at Auburn with Cam Coleman, among other really good receivers and tight ends to play with. Let's look at their schedule. They have Baylor, Ball State, and South Alabama to start the year. They should win those games, no problem. I do think that Baylor game on the road might be a tough game. I'd give them about a 30% chance to lose just because I think they're that much better than Baylor. Now, granted, Baylor did win 6 of their last 7 games, a bowl loss to LSU, but before that, they kind of went on a tear there. I'm surprised that they were not in the top 25 after winning 6 games straight. They had a really good year. Dave Aranda is their head coach, by the way. He was the defensive coordinator of LSU during their national championship run in 2019 with Joe Burrow. And I thought he was on his way out. And they started off 2-4. I said, any minute now. Then he started winning a bunch of games. They finished 8-5 with a bowl loss to LSU. But anyways, it's a possibility they lose that game. Now, if they lose that game, it's because the quarterback spot has just either stayed the same or has gotten worse. I think it gets better. And again, I'm not saying Auburn's got a Heisman winning quarterback or anything like that, but I do think it will only continue to grow, especially with talent that Auburn's been bringing in, and that it could help any quarterback out, especially with a really solid offensive line that Auburn's always had with Hugh Freeze. They start 3-0. They go to Oklahoma, and then they go to Texas A&M back-to-back weeks. Those are 2 losses, in my opinion. Oklahoma, for one, beat Auburn at Auburn last year. Auburn should have won that game with a better line of scrimmage than what Oklahoma had on both sides of the ball, and just stupid turnovers. It was actually a pick 6 Oklahoma had. Auburn was up 21-10 in this game and gave the game away and lost. So, with that being said, Oklahoma's going to be scary this year, and I haven't even talked about them yet, and I'm going to. But Oklahoma is bringing back a great defense from last year. They're bringing back a bunch of pieces, a lot of weapons on offense that got hurt last year. They're bringing in John Mateer from Washington State. If you don't know who that is, you need to look him up, watch his highlights. Oklahoma's going to go through a tear in the SEC, and to be honest, I would not be shocked if they won the SEC this year, or at least at worst made the championship game. Oklahoma's going to surprise some people, and Auburn's going to be included. I do think it'll be a really good game. Auburn's a really good football team. Might get ugly because it's at Oklahoma. And again, Oklahoma is going to be really good. And it depends. And there's just too many things I looked at with Auburn, with their quarterback situation. And again, I think Auburn will be better because of the players they have as a team. But a quarterback that doesn't play well or hurts themselves all the time hurts the team. So there you have it. At Texas A&M, you know A&M has this game circled from last year after losing in overtime to a 5-win Texas Auburn team on the road. And A&M was ranked at the time, so it was a big win for Hugh Freeze at the time. And again, Auburn could win this game. I wouldn't be surprised, but I got to give it to Texas A&M with Mike Elko, who I think is doing a phenomenal job building that program. And I think A&M's in for a pretty good year, too. And then they have to play Georgia. I'm going to skip the Georgia game and the Alabama games for now. And I'm going to talk about every other game. They go to they play Missouri and Georgia both at home. I'm going to skip Georgia. I'm going to talk about Missouri. They should mop the floor with Missouri. They should have another disappointing game they lost last year. They should have won. Oklahoma and Missouri, both of these situations. The difference is Missouri's not a good football team like Oklahoma is, and that game's at home, so they should win no problem. At Arkansas, I think this will be a tough game. It's kind of a toss-up. Sam Pittman does have a habit of winning a few big games here and there that are at home or beating somebody he shouldn't be beating, because Sam Pittman's been under a lot of heat lately by the fan base of Arkansas. It's possible that they lose, but I think Auburn's a better team. Auburn should win this game with a great quarterback or not, in my opinion, and it should be a really entertaining game. Kentucky at home, they should win that game, no problem. They're a better team than Kentucky. I think they're better coached. At Vanderbilt, they should win. I know they have Diego Pavio, and I think Vandy beat Auburn last year, but Auburn, in my opinion, they're going to take them seriously. And I'm not saying they didn't take them seriously last time. You could tell with how Auburn played Vandy. Vandy out-physicaled them and just beat them. And I think they get payback this year. Mercer and Alabama. Mercer, that's a win. Georgia and Alabama. I want to talk about the Georgia game first, because this is a team that Auburn has not beat since 2017 when Jarrett Stidham was quarterback. That's a long time. I think they get this win because, for one thing, listen to these numbers for Georgia. In 2022, 15-0, national champs. 23, 13-1, missed the playoffs, lose to Alabama. Last year, 11-3, make the playoffs, but lose to Ole Miss, Bama again, and then they lose to Notre Dame in the playoffs. I think Georgia's kind of going on a decline a little bit, and I would not be shocked if it got ugly. Georgia does have good players. The problem, and you look at Georgia's game with Auburn last year, Auburn was right there with them until the fourth quarter. They were playing really good. Again, the quarterback position wasn't very good, but every other position, they were tooth and nail with Georgia. Georgia had a hard time. Georgia's one weakness from last year was the offensive line. Auburn's defensive front is going to exploit that this year. This game's at home. They should get a big win over Georgia here. And they'll be extra motivated coming off back-to-back losses at Oklahoma and Texas A&M. They'll be coming back home for the first time in about a month, in their first big game of the year at home, looking to get a big win. And then they got to play Alabama also at home. I also think this is a win. Alabama did not impress me last year. People were talking about Kalen DeBoer like he's some type of great coach, like he's doing a lot of great things. I understand he's a winner, but look what happened last year. He had Malachi Moore, or whatever his name is, throw the ball or kick the ball, just throw a hissy fit on the field. He clearly showed that with how he behaved. There's a lot of problems on that program with that team that a head coach should not be having. I don't care if it's his first year or not. And it's just some things I didn't like. So I think Auburn's going to win this game at home. So I got them going 10-2.